You don't do that here.
Oh, 1 second. All right, let's see. I'm waiting to... Gotta change something.
We don't do that here.
All right. Hello, good morning, good morning. Muted on Discord? Yeah, we should be good now. Yeah, Goldie right now is currently in some distribution play. It's heading towards the downside. We got some clean range over here. On the 15-minute, the 5-minute, we just hit some kind of a support. 15-minute high time frames look pretty smooth. Got some rejections over here as well. A little bit of resistance points. Boom, boom. A little bit of weakness in this candlestick. Retested that high. Still respected that 15-minute close right over here by 51.61. So kind of like, imagine like a break and a retest on that 15. And distribution on the 1 minute. Ooh, going for that correction. Gold gains on safe haven buying, but inflation risks loom. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay, so what are we doing here, Goldie? Still gonna fill up this range. And we have around, how many more pips do we got to support? Like 170 pips. Right now, we got what do we got? A 5-minute. We got some minor support levels on the 5-minute. Starting to break mine level right here by 51.50. There's not gonna be much standing in the way of price to come down after this point. Once we break below 51.50. I think any continuations, you could probably get some sell continuations if you get consolidation breakouts. But this has been the point A right over here. That's where the entry came in at. Was a break of this low. There's like actually two over here. We got like this bigger one and then we got the smaller one right there. That's where it is currently breaking from. Trying to correct this range. Daily kind of rejecting that 8 SMA over there. So I think like with gold, it's just a reallocation of funds going on right now. Like there's a lot of I would imagine people kind of moving, reallocating funds into other assets due to the whole war and the whole disruption that that's creating in oil markets and across the board. So as I mentioned like before, I think that's where the money is going. It just feels like they're just like reallocating somehow. That's why we're not moving up so aggressively at this point. You could think of it like a risk off safe haven asset for now. But the good thing about reallocations is they create good price points to get in later for position holders. Because you obviously get like these dips because they need to move money. But then they'll overall put that money back in when everything is sort of like when their books are balanced, etc. So that's the kind of opportunity that creates. So you can see with like these big dips like this, big sell-offs here. We even dipped right next to 5,000 psychological. Creates amazing opportunities for buys. Say even that's why we've got like a rejection right over here. Right by that 5K mark. Right by that 5K mark. So I think like for now we can expect a bit more sell side. That's what we've been kind of seeing of late. I think that's what I've been seeing play out like really good as well. Sell side moves. The daily right now is also waiting. So we're not trending or anything. We're currently down 0.15%. Yeah, this sell idea is pretty nice. As you can see, since the since the Asia session right over here, we've just been like tanking. There's like a retracement, rejections. Awesome. Let's see. Let's read the newspaper over here. Gold gains on safe haven buying, but inflation risks loom. All right. Matthew McConaughey. Have I watched this movie? It's a pretty cool scene. You know, this scene was improvised. He was just thinking in his car, okay, so what is my character like? My character likes smoking weed. He likes, what else did he say? I think he said my character likes smoking weed. He likes chicks. And he said, and he loves his car. He said, all right. That's how that scene came about. So that wasn't in the script. And that scene was actually, it wasn't even meant to be in this movie, but like a lot, he just kind of, I think he just got the part. He got the part somehow. This is like a minor part that he played in that movie as well. It wasn't like he was planning to be really in that movie. All right. Yeah, that's it. I think that's when he was explaining it. He was like, he said, my character likes weed, he likes pot, he likes chicks, and he loves his car. All right. You even got all right. Matthew McConaughey. Guy's pretty chill. You should see the episode with Gordon Ramsay when they're cooking up in the kitchen. Let's see. The market is keeping one eye on the impact of rising energy prices on inflation. See, dollar strength could continue weighing on gold prices. Unexpected surge in US currency likely played a role in some profit taking on gold. Despite the widening Middle East conflict, the analyst notes, inflation fears have revived along with the possibility of fewer Federal Reserve rate cuts this year. Possibility of fewer rate cuts, given the higher energy prices. Nonetheless, gold is still hovering around 18% year-to-date gains, despite retreating from 5,400. Fewer rate cuts, man. What a play, huh? What a play if this whole war was also to kind of mitigate risk on the dollar. What a freaking play. Well, we'll see how the year unfolds. I still would like Goldie to hit the ATH. A lot of us did, especially once we started the week over here. We thought we're just gonna skyrocket. Let's see. Investors should take into account the dollar's rise, the pace of gold buying by central banks, and any escalation in the Iran conflict when positioning in gold. Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Oh, now it's coming down to fill the rest of the range. Damn, look at the size of the 15-minute candle here. It's completely dumped. No bottom wick. Conflicted. Get into our Tony Stark mode here. China is lit up. Oh, look at this China right next to North Korea over there. China is lit up. Everything looks to be quite lit up today. Afghanistan, Pakistan still a bit quiet. We see we're getting the... where is this? Qatar. Qatar's lit up right now. Iran's been lit up. Not so many people on today. Like 792 people live there. Yeah, but all this, man, like it'll be awesome if price was moving up, but I think like they just don't have the capacity to allocate funds into gold right now, as it's also affecting other things like we just read. It's the whole war is causing some kind of an energy crisis, and that might be affecting rates, the amount of rate cuts we'll get this year. The conflict entered the 6th day and with the US-Israeli forces striking targets across Iran, Tehran retaliating with missile strikes, missile attacks on several neighboring states. Let's see, President Trump backed the American campaign while US officials said Iranian warship was sunk in international waters. See, higher oil and gas prices have revived inflation concerns. Yeah, it's prompting traders to delay expectation for easing by the Federal Reserve. With the first cut now seen in September and 2 reductions still priced in for 2026. Oh, damn. Let's have a look if that actually shifted from summer months to September. Speculation. Probably like some kind of a speculation there. See, June, oof, looks like it came down. Oh, damn, look at this. It completely changed. Something changed here overnight. June, July has completely changed. So we're seeing easing now, 70% by September. Something changed last night. Oh, yesterday. Something changed yesterday, with now easing being pushed behind a bit more. Uh-oh. Can't trade today. Yesterday my internet provider with problem, and today still without it. Going to change provider today. I don't feel good trading with mobile phone internet. It's unstable. So no trade since yesterday when I dropped out of session live. Yeah, we're wondering where you are. You said you were back and then you disappeared. But you should try to get yourself a Starlink as an emergency backup. I think it's probably like what, $200, $250. Starlinks is pretty nice, especially if you live in areas which are prone to disasters. Because if you got access to Starlink, then you know you can still access the internet. And they actually make it free whenever there's a natural disaster. So they can make it free as well if you didn't have a subscription. I need to learn how to hold runners. Damn it. When I close, it loves to keep going. So you gotta set yourself a plan. How you gonna hold? How you gonna do it? How you gonna do it? You know what you gotta do. How you gonna do it? Sometimes it's good to just lay it out on a piece of paper and say, okay, what can I do here? I can put my stop loss to break even. When will I put my stop loss to break even? Maybe at a certain amount of pips. Maybe at some kind of structure. Maybe at a re-break. Also could be a structure. Could be like, let's say here at a support level. Or a structure could be like if you see price re-break structure to continue moving in your direction. Could be anything. Then you got to see like what are all the variables that I have in place to do so with the strategy that you are trading. Because remember, your strategy is going to be the base. That's going to be the base note. It's going to be the thing that's going to make any of this make sense and make any of this consistently, you know, kind of make sense. Basically, whatever you're going to do when it comes to managing. But you got to get the base right. Like making a pizza. You know, you got to get the base right. Because when people are going to eat a pizza, they're going to notice the base, right? They're going to say, oh, this is a nice crust right here. Or, you know, that's what they're going to notice first. And then the toppings and everything. So make sure you work on your base. And then you're going to work on the other things. They're going to be a bit more clear. Right? Because if the base isn't consistent, if the base is not consistent, then those points wouldn't be consistent either. Let's see. This never happened before. I'm going to get a Starlink. Yeah, you got a Starlink, but I would say like Starlink is pretty awesome for emergency purposes. But the fiber optics of the country you're living in should always be somewhat superior. It should be faster. It should be yeah, it should be fast. With Starlink, I never have any disconnects. The only disconnect I have with a Starlink is when the satellites switch over. Because you know, it's like, let's say you're living right here. There's a small, what do they call it? I don't know if it's a latency or I don't know what that term is. But there's a small latency between when the connection shifts to a different satellite. And it lasts for maybe two seconds. You can barely notice it. Unless you're doing something quite intensive that needs like fiber optics. Like if you're gaming online, for example. Then yeah, that could probably like affect you. But yeah, if you're not, then I don't think you're gonna notice it. The internet, the wild web, created by this guy called Tim. His first name is Tim something. He created a part of the internet. I think right now he's probably like in his, how old does he look like? Maybe 60s. But he invented downloading. If I remember that correct. The inventor of, imagine telling somebody you invented downloading. The inventor of the World Wide Web. Yeah, Tim Berners-Lee. But I think most specifically he invented also downloading. So Tim BL is an English computer scientist, best known as the inventor of the World Wide Web, HTML and the URL system, and HTTP. Oh, I got pretty close. 70 years old. Yeah, I said like 60. Professional research fellow at University of Oxford. He kind of looks like that actor from, I don't know, for a second there. What's that movie called? A freaking zombie movie. I forgot what the name is. Zombieland. Yeah, he kind of looked like this guy for a minute. Woody Harrelson. All right. Price is coming downtown. Downtown. It's filled. How much of this range has it filled? Let's see. 15-minute. From this support to here. Yeah, right by that 65% mark. I invented downloading. Gold rises as Mid-East conflict drags on. President Trump backed the American campaign whilst US officials said an Iranian warship was sunk. Yeah, this is it's been kind of like, okay, so there were pretty good moves in the beginning of this whole thing. But definitely not what we expected from Gold Spot this month. Been a pretty good month so far, but it could be easier. It definitely could be a bit easier. I'm not complaining, but I think it could be easier because I can see in general it's not easy, like generally speaking, for a lot of participants. But at least today there's some clean PA. Getting some nice swings over here. It's looking pretty nice. It's just paid out the sellers. That's all that's doing right now. It's gonna restructure and then create the next setup. That thing's gonna be pretty good. You gotta get another move. Silver is back down in the gulag as well. We've created now a new resistance right here by 95. You guys see what the macros are gonna be looking like as we come up towards like 95. But yeah, right now it is just accumulating within this range. Let's see what platinum is doing. Platinum, also probably the same thing. At least platinum had a bit more of a bigger push once it started breaking out this area. But it just created new resistance. We got resistance, we got support. What else? What BTC is doing. Alright, Bitcoin is down by 60. Wow, Bitcoin's recovering? Shit, man, it's like the world is upside down right now. Is this like a different multiverse that we're living in? Gold is coming down, there's a war going on. Silver, platinum consolidating, Bitcoin going up, the DXY is going up. What the hell is going on here? This is all just reallocation of funds. Now DXY looks like it's about to do a fake out above that 100 level. Here on the monthly back into this range. Man, the dollar played it well, I have to admit, because they've been holding this area. They've been holding this whole zone artificially. If you look at the correlation between gold spot and the dollar, look at the way gold has been moving so parabolic. And look at the way gold DXY has just been holding like this. Pretty smart play from, I guess, how that would work. Probably like American banks and hedge funds. This thing could have tumbled a lot more. Especially during this run over here. But you see now the more time that they're buying, you see how they're killing time? They're killing so much time, so the market dynamics shifting more in their favor. So when it's time to attack, they'll have a little bit less friction towards the upside when it's time for the dollar to recover. I know if it costs them money to do this. It probably costs them a lot of money. Well, I'm just speculating here, but it must cost them a lot of money to, if they wanted to artificially hold. But anyway, God knows. We just can only react to the market, right? But right now, potentially... Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty cool to use this if something was actually happening. Right, I want to see what this platform is going to become when the war finishes. If they're still going to give us like pretty good news. Or when the war cools down. Because Trump's already pretty much taken out everybody, you know. Everybody's already pretty much taken out over there. That was pretty fast as well. I don't know how Trump does it. I don't know why other administrations took so much longer when it came to such things. I feel like Trump could have caught Saddam Hussein even quite fast. If he's catching literally everybody. Mexican drug lords making billions of dollars. Breaking Venezuelan president, supreme leader of Iran. Like, and this is happening so fast. Literally killed the guy on the first day of the war. The supreme leader. So yeah, there's nothing. I don't know what's even going on there. I think they're gonna come up with some kind of they're gonna look at some sort of a resolution, because they're clearly losing the war. Like, they're most likely gonna come up with something in the near-term future. They had a dentist put tracking devices into the filling of key leaders' teeth. That's why you see Putin, man. Putin never fucks around. Like, if he ever goes for like these speeches and there's drinks on the table and everything, you gotta see Putin. You gotta lift up the cup. He's gonna cheers. Then he's gonna put it down. Putin, leader of North Korea. All these guys, man, very, very cynical about the world. They'll never eat anything or drink anything like that. I put like a mini tracker in your water. Like this, look at how weird this technology is. This is a liquid robot. And it can take things, it can go and take samples. Like the sample gets inside of the water. This is what PBS, particle armored liquid robot. How cool this thing is. So you can send it on like a mission. Look at this. This looks like that scene from the Terminator. Remember that scene where he goes through the bars? I think it's the Terminator movie, right? Where he goes through the bars. Yeah, when that scene came out, that was like the pinnacle of CGI to make that possible. But look at this thing, just going through bars. Look at this. You can send on like a little mission. Hey, we got lemmings. We got lemmings over here. Look, the lemmings are on a mission, Chad. Yeah, military technology and all of these things are just so advanced. We don't even know what is capable right now. But yeah, this has already pretty much filled the range down to 65%, having a small pullback. Actual real life lemmings, yeah. This is the scene. Exactly. What is this? This is a Terminator, I think it was. Bruh, this scene right here was the pinnacle of CGI. I even think other movies look better. Like, even The Matrix, for some reason, the CGI in The Matrix looks better than the CGI we even get today. Kind of weird. Like this scene, when Neo is dodging the bullets. Pretty cool. Apparently, they said in the movie, if you're watching in the cinema, you know that scene, last scene in The Matrix when it's raining and it's fighting Agent Smith and is like, why wouldn't you give up? Then Neo's like, I choose not to. Apparently, the raindrops, there's code in the raindrops. So if you're watching a cinema, a big enough screen, you could see the ones and zeros in the raindrops. I gotta love directors, man. Directors are on a different level. When a movie is too good, sometimes I worry about the director's mental health. All right, let's see what's going on here. 1 minute. Yeah, just some V-shaped reversals, nothing much. It just got done paying out some sellers over here. Probably gonna restructure again. That was a pretty good spot though, because this is that whole point A. That was the only area there with actual structure to catch a move. Just got into a long. Godspeed, Antonio. I would love Starlink as a backup, but I'm in a condo building. Can't set it up outside. If they could figure that problem out, that would be amazing. Yeah, because installing the Starlink is always a hassle. So Ricardo, make sure you got like man, you have to have like a clean view of the sky as much as possible. You can't even just have it on the balcony. It needs to be literally able to access the sky. Preferably like 360. I don't know how people do it on the side of buildings. Like if you do it on the side of a building, maybe you got a long enough extension, it would still be working. I had an entry on a buy but didn't take it. There was 2 confluences there for order flow and RSI. I'm gonna do it on the side of the building. Yeah, I need to get a long enough rod. You know, I have it, but I don't even pay for it. I pay for it, but I don't even use it. I never use it. It's kind of annoying because you have it for worst case scenarios, but in a whole year, probability of a worst case scenario is a lot less than how much you're gonna pay for it. Really nice subscription model from Elon, because if you don't keep paying for it, you lose your seat. And if you live in a very populated area, like where a lot of people are using the Starlink, you kind of lose your seat until a seat is available to you. I remember when that thing first came out, local countries were shitting bricks because everybody was using Starlink. And you know what they did? They started taxing Starlinks. They started regulating them in countries. So I think he gets taxed on them now a bit more. And also, I believe there should be some more regulations. Like when you go and buy it, they probably ask for like ID details and whatnot. Last time I checked. Man, I caught half of that candle for 0.5% and closed. Just greedy. Should have gone BE and held. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, held. Well, like, I feel like the best thing you're going to focus as a trader is like your percentage gains. So you can remove the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just whatever it is that you're trying to aim for that trade, secure whatever that is. I think you feel a lot better with the percentage gains. Yeah, well, that's going to be 1%, 2%. And then if it still keeps running, like anywhere from 1%, 1% is great. A 2% win is amazing. You know, in most like cases, a 2% win is more than sufficient. That should make anybody happy. Of course, if you're flipping an account, you're going to be risking what, 5% a trade. But you got to think of that 5% as a 1% and only taking one shot a day. Right? But if you're trading properly, 1 or 2% is pretty decent. Yeah, it shot up quite aggressively here. We got a reversal on the shotgun plate to the upside. There, yeah, it started breaking above these highs. Up like 95 pips. Is the peak volume for London session over now? Peak volume? It is definitely the highest volume times. You can see like right here with the London Open. That's where most of the peak volume, I guess, would be coming in. The London Open volume, boom. Yeah, I would say the peak volume on London is usually the first 2 hours. 3 to 4, 4 to 5. That's a peak. 5 to 6, it's quiet. Typically, and then 6 to 7 is the next like peak. Right? And then 7 to 8, it could be good. But it's like we're waiting for the New York Open. That's Eastern timing. But, yep. Up 1% for today. That's it for me. Not going to push it. Plan to execute. Execute the plan. Simple. Yes. Exactly. That's why I risk like 2%. I try and hit 2%. We'll say is because I found like with 1%, like it's good if you're happy with the gains that you're making. Also depends on your account size. If you got a really big account size, then say 1% could be quite sufficient. Then over time, I think the most that I can push is like maybe like 2% a trade. No matter how big the account is or whatever, like 2% is enough for me to say, okay, you know, I can end the day here and just feel comfortable. So that's the goal. Every day you gotta kind of have like a goal, right? Kind of have like a goal. And don't mismanage the trade. You know, so at least you get your TPs, you get whatever your TP should have been on that winning trade. Because it's a lot harder to get another trade which is a winning trade if you mess up the first trade. Correct? Like if you have a first trade actually play out, you wanna see that through. Rather than mismanage and then think you can always get back in. Yeah, we just filled up a range. Man, price moving pretty fast. We just filled up another range right here. Right over here, sir. Aiding a bit of drawdown on NQ. See what NQ is doing. The NASDAQ. Q still kind of rangy on the weekly. Daily's moving down. Accumulating. Wow, look at this. Pretty nice accumulation on NQ on the daily. Setting up for a breakout soon. Maybe breaks the highs or lows of these areas. Then you're probably going to see it move quite a lot. So you got accumulation inside accumulation there. But NQ looks like it's trying to come down. It looks a bit like lethargic, I guess. You see it's coming down. We had accumulation break right here. It's coming towards the downside. It's trying to fill this range on the 30-minute. Got like clean traffic down the 15 as well. Coming down here, starting to break. You got that minor support level on the 15. See the 5-minute. It's accumulating. Got like a pretty big accumulation here. Might see a big breakout within this area. When it tries to break below these lows, to create like some support areas. Here, 1 minute. Yeah, got a nice little accumulation there on the 1 minute as well. So like if it re-breaks below 24,935. But I think it can pop up if it breaks above like maybe 24,989. And still got clean range on the 15, the 5-minute as well. Breaks above that 5-minute resistance, got like 27 pip range. Right here to here. But you see, it's right now accumulating some orders. So we're going to see. We're going to come back to this and see what happened on NQ. Looks like it's rejecting the lows. Vic, if China kicks off, I might join you in Wakanda. Welcome, brother. No place like home. I watch all your simulations, bro. I know better. That range was so clean. Yep. We watched the simulations. Awesome. I think you're gonna learn so much from those simulations. I don't think we're gonna do any more on YouTube. We have, I think, sufficient over here. We have a gold trading masterclass. You can go and watch the simulations, and then you're gonna see a bit of the process. Gold trading masterclass, right over here. The thing about the simulations, you're not gonna find them on the internet. So I think, it's a pretty good thing that you're gonna look at. You could try find out on YouTube. I don't know if you're gonna find simulations like this on YouTube. Let's see, live trading simulations. You might find a couple, like there's a couple of people who did it, but I don't think people actually do simulations on YouTube. Live trading simulations. I only know Raja's done it. Only Raja. I know Donvu did like 1 or 2. But I don't think you're gonna find them. So it's a pretty important thing. You're gonna watch that, and then you're gonna learn about how to do simulations, how to do backtesting, and how to just use the software. Usually 5-minute, 1-minute, what's going on? Small little breakout here, but nothing set up. Nothing specific. Jeez, but it's swinging beautifully right now. Daily bias is even trending. Daily bias has now gone back to bullish. We're up like 0.50%. What's my opinion on the GU market? GU? Oh, GU? Man, I love GU. GBP USD. A kid I used to follow used to trade a lot of GU, man. And this kid really motivated me to the possibility that there was in trading. I remember this part of my journey, and just understanding the possibility of what you can achieve. Because sometimes people limit ideas too much. You might be even limiting already. When you see me trade, you might be limiting the ability of entries that you can have. Think about it. If you're gonna have 0 drawdown entries, you know what that means. Creates a lot of possibilities. To have a system which is not typical for drawdown, it gives you a lot of opportunities, whether that's managing your risk quicker, cutting it, taking a bigger risk, expecting exponential gains immediately. There's a lot more ways you can go about when you're learning a strategy. Yeah, you're always thinking about all the angles in how that can be maximized. So this guy used to use, I think, trend lines. He was also in the British papers over here. Edward 16 turns 150 pounds into 61,000 in less than a year. So yeah, man, this is 6 years ago, 2 years ago. See, 777 pounds to 11,400 pounds. This is an OG. I don't think he makes videos or anything of that sort anymore. The industry has changed so much from when I started trading. A lot of these people they don't do this stuff anymore, They don't go on social media and stuff anymore. But these are some serious OGs. Serious OGs. He was really good at flipping, but I'm pretty sure he blew he blew a few accounts, obviously, because his flips were insane. And he used to trade a lot of GU. A lot of GU and a trend lines. See, 280 pounds to 1,100. But it's a risky form of trading because you can't really afford to take... You have to start on a good note. You can't really afford to take like too many losses, right? Otherwise, you're going to pay like a huge tuition fees. So you really have to be careful like with the setups, types of trades that you're executing on. Especially someone like me, man. Like when I started trading, I didn't have like 200 pounds to risk on a single trade. Yeah, like $500, man. $500, that was meant to last me. That was my tuition fees. That was my entry into the market. I couldn't risk this. Look at this. It's already up like 230 pounds over there. Risking 280. I'll afford that. Man, that would set me back. So I had to focus on discipline. On discipline trading so then I can survive. You know, a lot of the time it's just about surviving the learning curve. That's all that you got to do. A lot of people, they can't even survive the learning curve, man. They can't even survive the learning curve. That's why they get discouraged and they get into this like this habit of trying to make it back. This habit of distrust, trying to make it back, anxiety. That's kind of what you want to avoid from the beginning. But you see, now you have access to the information, right? Now that you're on the stream and somebody's saying it, you've had access to the information. So whatever you do with that information, that's not going to be up to you. You know, like you see this kid over here? This is what most people end up doing. Look at this kid.
Year I was quite literally the...
Look at this kid. This is basically... majority people with funded accounts. It is like 90% of people.
I fucked my life up at 20. Last year, I was quite literally the worst trader of all time and lost 40K to prop firms. Then at the end of last year when I was...
Imagine $40,000 to prop firms, chat. This guy lost $40,000 to prop firms. My tuition fees was like maybe $500 at $1,000. He lost $40,000 and he's still not profitable.
I was only in 7K worth of debt. I had the opportunity to take this 10K payout, but I didn't because I wanted the max allocation of 25K, and I ended up going all these accounts right after this. Shit's so crazy, bro. I'm in 12.5K worth of debt. This is one of my loans. And this is the other one we have for $900. And this is my bank balance. As you can see, I only even got a single dollar in my account. I'm in 7,800.
Bro is rinsing himself.
178 worth of credit card debt. And I got a 15K car loan. And the only way I know how to get out of the situation is the same way I got into it.
Same way I got into it. That's what gamblers do. Basically, what's that saying gamblers do? Like, the only way to lose is if you quit. So he said the only way he has to get out of this 40K drawdown is to keep going.
Trading. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover from this, but I will be documenting everything. So welcome to the rebuild. Follow along.
Wild. Insane. Insane. I don't know. Why do people do this? I always wondered. But you see that everybody's risk tolerance is a bit different. Some people are okay with that. You know, I'm also the type of person, if I'm gonna buy something, I always buy in cash. Like I always buy what I can afford. And I always go by the rule that if I can't buy it twice, I can't afford it. If I can't buy a Lamborghini twice, I can't afford it. If I can't buy a house twice, I can't afford it. I don't like debt. I don't like loans. So I'm very, very risk tolerant person. Like I don't have a very high risk tolerance. Some people got a high risk tolerance. And for some people, it works really well for them. But it can also be really bad. I think the safest thing is always to mitigate that risk as much as you possibly can. Imagine 40K on prop firms. Prop firms make a lot of money. They're definitely they definitely switch the game on the head. They flip the game over. They switch the game over. Because now nobody is learning how to trade. Everyone's just learning how to trade on a prop firm. Everyone's just learning how to get a payout. So they've kind of like created it more complicated. You know, the whole idea behind Wall Street was always to make it more complicated for people so they wouldn't understand how simple that trading was. And that's what Epstein said in that interview when he was working at Wall Street. But prop firms are kind of doing the same way. They're kind of making it more complicated again so more people don't get involved like properly. But you think they're helping, but you know, I don't think so. That's kind of what they're doing. Consistency rule, all these types of rules. But yeah, just keep the tuition fees low. Just look to gain knowledge and just make sure you're on the right path. If you're on the right path, you might feel like you're not seeing any progress, but that's how it usually feels when you're moving correct for a while. It feels like you're not seeing any progress. Nothing changes until everything changes. That's the best quote to describe the feeling of moving correctly. It feels like nothing is changing until everything changes. Just keep going on that steady journey. Make sure you're progressing with a good foundation, and you know you're moving in the correct path. You're not being driven by greed or FOMO or the fear of not being good enough. You know, sometimes you feel like you maybe not good enough. So you're moving with pure intention and you know you're moving correctly, then you're going to get a positive result. That's how you want to approach everything in life, you know, for the most part. Just get the foundation, lay the foundation right. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Because right now, what I'm trying to do, besides from trading, because I've already mastered the way I trade, I'm looking at other things. So right now, the thing I'm looking at is gym. So I want to get into 10 or 12% body fat. So I'm looking, before I start my journey, my cutting journey and then lean bulking to get rid of the fat and then build muscle, I'm making sure that that foundation is correct, because I'm going to do this for the next 8 to 12 weeks. I'm going to be on this diet and I need to see this result in the next 8 to 12 weeks. So it's not about rushing. Man, like last night, I think I spent hours. I spent hours researching this. I spent hours calculating calories, calculating fat, calculating, you know, everything I need to calculate to achieve this goal. 10 to 12 body percent fat in the next, you know, hopefully 8 to 12 weeks. You know, calculating where I'm at, if that's realistic in that time period. Already premeditating possible low energy and how I'm going to deal with like hunger and all of these things. But the whole idea is that foundation, man. Like, you have to get the foundation right, because you can't go again 8-12 weeks and then figure out later that there was something really holding you back. You know what I mean? There's gonna be like a waste of time and, you know, a lot of like waste of opportunity that you could have given yourself. His training is the same exact way. Like, you have to get that foundation right, even if, you know, you're not gonna feel like you're seeing gains. It feels like that until everything changes. So you gotta make sure that that foundation is correct. So in the middle of the journey, you don't start second guessing yourself. So in week 4, you don't start second guessing your diet. You don't start second guessing what you're doing, the hunger and all of these things, and if it's worth it. Because you know that you put so much effort in that foundation that it doesn't even make sense for you to fail, right? The universe would just have to, it would have to give you the result from the kind of like research, the positive information or research that you put in, I guess. Like, it will have no choice but to give you the result, correct? Because you've seen all the angles. You've tried to attack it from all angles. Like, how could I move the most correct? Partial profits. NQ price is struggling a bit. Yeah, we're gonna break down GU here. GU looks like it's trying to move up. You have resistance. You have another resistance right over here. Right over here, you got support. It's starting to like consolidate. It's gonna look to break out. Correct that range. Price is down 0.35. It's let's see G on the daily. Yeah, daily is just about coming down here. Looks like the quarter has been kind of pulling back, pulling down over here. Big quarterly liquidity spike above the highs. Previous month coming down. We got some monthly range, weekly range to the downside. I would say Jew is more bearish, definitely, like for the week up ahead as well. Seems like to be the case. On the 1 hour, a little bit of accumulation happening there. But you got some intraday ranges here, that possible trades that you could be getting into. Buys above like this resistance on the 5. You got this range about like 10 pips. The sells, you have a bit of clean traffic below here, like about 6 pips. Yeah, I don't trade GU, but that's how it looks. It looks like it's trying to break above this resistance, but you see it's looking left at its buddies here. It got some rejections. So we're gonna wait for like candlesticks to break above, close above, and then possibly keep moving up there. Let's see, NQ. Oh, wow, look at this. NQ is running up here now. Break it. Like this is a similar thing I'm imagining for GU. Same thing, like break above and then to fill up that range. So yeah, it's kind of distributing right now. It's breaking off in that accumulation, heading towards the upside. See, it's in distribution, it's paying traders out. That was a support, that was support, that was a range. It's breaking out, heading towards resistance. This is why I'm going for 1 minute this year. He inspired me. Listen to your body too. I was sub 10% body fat for a while and felt like shit. Low sex drive, low energy. Much better than went up a bit. Yeah, my goal is to, because I think I'm probably like 23% body fat. So I'm trying to get it down. At least in the next 8 to 12 weeks. I think realistically with a 1,900 calories, I can maybe get to like 15%, but I'm also going to be quite active with cardio and steps and lifting. So, I mean, like, hopefully I can get down to sub 15% body fat, because the goal is to get to at least 10 to 12%. I've never seen 10 to 12 in my life. I don't think I've even seen like 15%, maybe when I was much younger. So that's the goal. Get to 10 to 12. Obviously, I'm not going to stay there because, man, that's just torture. To keep eating such as low calories. The idea is just to get there, to remove all the fat, and then to build muscle. So I'll say like 10, 12, and then lean bulk until like 15%. If I get to 15%, then I'll cut again, so I can stay under 15%. But make sure that all the fat like is gone. But obviously now it's just building muscle, but staying under 15%. Yeah, but I know if you say like 10, 12, you gotta feel like shit with that diet. Like 1,900 calories. And you just keep doing that. You look good on the outside, but on the inside, you probably feel like shit. So yeah, that's just the goal. It'll be pretty fun. Nice little challenge. Nice little challenge. At least if I can just hit 15% and just manage under 15%, I think that'll be legit. Because when I'm lean bulking, I'm aiming for around like 2,000, let's say 2,680 to maybe 2,000. Maybe let's just give a range of like 2,600 to 2,900 calories, somewhere around that mark. For the lean bulk. It'll be fun, man. It's a challenge, bro. It's a challenge. I love knowledge, bro. Like, I'm new to gymming, so like you probably know about this journey more than I do. Since you've already experienced, you've been down that road before. It's the same thing, just like in trading, you know, like if someone's been down that road, like, and he says like that's a good plan, like you gotta believe it, man. You gotta say like, okay, awesome. So that it gives you motivation. It makes you feel good. You know that the research you're doing is on par to what you can expect to achieve. That's the whole idea behind mentorship. That's the whole idea. You know, everybody gotta need some kind of feedback. So that's why I got the Discord here. You gotta send in a chart, and we're gonna look at your chart and, you know, give you some advice. 2 wins and done for the day. Look at this coming down. Yeah, look at that penetration here. Zero drawdown. To be fair, this is more Asia than pre-London. If you wanted to catch a runner, this was opportunity. Price filled the whole HTF range. Let's see, pre-London sell, consolidation breakout, break and retest. 5 to 50 minute close below support, rejected at the top of the HTF range. Clean HTF range below. Nice dynamic resistance. Hold. Consolidation break. Where's that consolidation? I don't really see it. This looks like it came down and moved up and then it broke here. Break and retest 5 minute close of origin. Was it here? You came in late, right? I guess that's a continuation from this one. That pushed down. Boom. Retested. Continuation. This is the entire break. Oh yeah, it looks pretty clean. Like there's a break and a retest. Came, broke, retested, and then continue moving down. Yeah, structurally it made sense as well the way that progressed. The only thing that for me is that consolidation you're mentioning. That looked good confluence wise, but this as a consolidation breakout, unless it's a continuation from here. But even that doesn't make sense because there's no real support. Like from here, that broke there. Retest of the high volume area. Nice. A win is a win, but yeah, maybe that's something I can spot out. It was a good trade. Structurally speaking, it was a good trade. Even like here on the 15 minute, you see how structurally speaking, this was a good trade. Because you got multiple resistances, you got rejection wicks, rejecting support, and then you got the break and a retest. So it's a similar thing as to kind of what happened here. At least on this one, you can see accumulation a lot better. But it's a similar thing as this. It just happened in a different format. You see like break and retest, and then it broke the low. But the format here is slightly different because it's more compressed. Here it's a lot wider. So you learn a lot about your body, kind of like trading. People can tell you what to do, but you got to put in the work. Yeah, that's true. You're gonna learn about yourself, about your ability to follow rules. You know, like if you say you're not gonna eat past a certain amount of calories, and when that hunger kicks in, and then you're truly gonna know. That's where that character development comes, right? But then here's the beautiful thing. So in the beginning, it's gonna be difficult, but then if you keep with it, and that becomes like you're gonna have something you're gonna be used to, then you're gonna be able to follow the rules easier. But you just have to get through that initial threshold, because doing something for the first time is always the hardest, right? So you experience the pinnacle of when you want to break. So you're already now going to know how that feels. And that's where you have to really lock it in, right? So next time you come back to that pinnacle, you're going to be like, okay, you know, we've been here before. I just need to stick with it. Correct? Gotta be like disciplined. Gotta be disciplined. Because you're gonna see in your charts as well. Like you're gonna experience times like these where you have maybe like back-to-back losses. And you're like, I've been here before. Right? I've been here before. So you've already kind of like exercised that muscle on how to deal with FOMO and how to deal with maybe losing streaks or even like winning streaks as well. Like literally, like everything, trading will just reveal. It will just reveal you, man. It will reveal your capacity to follow rules, to be your own boss more than anything else. Because at the end of the day, to achieve a lot of the greatness that we all seek to achieve, we have to be really good at being our own bosses. Because nobody's gonna push you. Nobody's gonna push you as hard as you're gonna push yourself. That's why for me, I say I like nice things. You know, when I do some, I want to do it to the highest quality possible, because I know nobody's gonna help me. And if I'm not gonna like seek mentorship, for example, I'm not gonna seek mentorship for gym, correct? I don't want to get a coach. I don't want to get any of that stuff. But I want the highest quality information. And the only way I can do that is by sample sizing. So I sample size. Men on YouTube, so many of these people get the calories wrong, the fucking protein intake so off. They're so off on these YouTube videos. It's insane. So you gotta have like a whole sample size, you know, and then you gotta do that research with the food that you actually have in the fridge and calculate that, and then see the quantity of that food. And then when you relate that back to the sample size you're seeing on YouTube, you can easily tell like if somebody is just lying or if they got the calculations completely off. Because the truth is, even I've seen in this gym industry, people don't put that much work in, bro. Like the amount of times people are way off their protein and everything, like it's insane. People don't actually put that amount of work in. Yes, they have the results, but maybe they didn't put as lot of time into the data as they thought. That's why it's like trading all over again. You get enough sample size and you actually start to see like where people might be going wrong, where people might be going right. It's literally the same thing. That's why I always said, like, I think the difference between a good trader and someone who will be profitable in a year is their ability to do due diligence like that. It's like, how good are you at sample sizing and relating information to as close to reality as you possibly can. And that's like the real sauce of doing it. Like if you're going to be doing it, studying yourself. So you have to look at that skill within you. Sample size is the best data. You have to sample size. So look at the sample, like look at the sample of these trades. You can go and sample my January trades. You have a whole sample size right over here. Whole sample size. You have the times, you got the before and after pictures. Start gathering that data. Start gathering that data. What do you think of the retest and buy? Retest and buy on what pair? Look for then look. Oh wait, let me see. Retest to the 62 level or a retest and buy on gold. I think if gold is in momentum, it's gonna keep pushing up. So one thing about gold, it doesn't do a lot of retests. Like it will just keep moving in that direction. You're gonna like investigate the 1 minute and see how you can get a continuation down the 1 minute. See, like for example here, when price started break, okay, but here it did kind of small retest in the 15, break, retest, and then broke the lows. But like the thing is, when it starts to move, it will rarely ever do a retest. It will just move like this when it starts to move. And right now it seems to be in momentum, moving to the upside there. Good morning, Vic. I used to gym big time. You need that bit of fat to build. Eat protein and good workouts. Yeah, I got my protein for the cutting diet at 177 grams protein. I heard like anything above 180 grams is it kind of wastes or it just goes to energy. But for most people, they're gonna have like more protein muscle synthesis or whatever you call it from, let's see, 150 grams, which is kind of on the lower end, but some people say even like 130, but that's really low. I would say like maybe 150, 160 to like 180 grams. And you don't really need to eat any more than that. Some of these like 200 gram diets are just insane. But yeah, with the fat, I currently have at the cutting level, we got my fat at 40 to 55 grams of fat for cutting. Apparently you go less than 40, you're gonna feel really shit. Like 40 is a good minimum. 40 to 55, and lean bulking, we're looking at, I think it was like 40 to 70, somewhere around that range. I've been doing my research. I think I can hang now. I can hang with the gym nerds. Gym nerds. Man, it's just that foundation, bruh. Like, that's all that is. Let's get that foundation right. And like, treat it like a game, right? Treat it like a game. Gamify. I think that's what Elon Musk says as well. Like, the most best people are gonna learn. Like, if you're an organized individual, if you're organized and even above that, you can gamify to some extent. That's not, again, overcomplicating, because sometimes people gamify, but they overcomplicate, again, unnecessarily. So just finding a good balance between those two things, and the sky's the limit, man. There's nothing you cannot achieve. Like, you know, like I love one thing like one of my mentors said is when he started opening a brokerage, he thought like opening a brokerage would be super complicated, right? Like imagine opening a whole brokerage. But you know what he did? He said, okay, you know, I'm not that smart of a person, but the way he did it is he just went on Google. He Googled how to open a broker, step 1. And then, you know, he looked at the steps and he just did the steps as he was finding that research out. And the person this is Dominion Markets. This is Roger Banks. This is Roger Banks. Man, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out a lot of things in life. You know, but you know, Roger lost a lot of money though. I remember like in the beginning, he lost a lot of money through these white label brokerages. Because, you know, white label, they kind of give you a brokerage set up. And they're like, here, take this. You pay us like a fee, but you know, we got everything set up for you, liquidity provider, etc., etc. And like, lost a lot of money doing that. I think he lost hundreds of $1,000s doing that. They said, you know what? We're gonna start this thing from scratch. Then he built Dominion from scratch. But you know what thing I like about Roger is like he's kind of like a real person, right? He's kind of like a real person. He's not nowadays he's changed quite a bit. But if you've seen him like since 2020, even now he's still kind of the same. But he's like more like a real person. So you can see you don't have to be super intelligent or like you gotta portray yourself as something that you're not on social media. Man, you just have to be good at figuring shit out. That's all that you gotta do. Just take it step by step. Step by step, man. Don't try to figure it all out at once. Like today, look at how can I manage my runners. try and look at how can we manage it. What's the best way to manage runners? Given the data that I have, since if I'm taking this serious, if I'm already thinking about how to manage my trades, I should already have data, correct? So how are you gonna know about your runners if you don't have data on how often that your runners run, and where do they plateau? What conditions are the best for them to run? Yeah, that's the whole thing. So once you have that information, that sample sizing, then you can really dig into the nitty gritty of what you're gonna do when you catch runners. But the universe has to see you putting the work in. If the universe is not seeing you putting the work in, you don't even have sample sizing data, and you're having a conversation about how to leave runners, it's gonna know like this guy is not serious. It's not a serious guy right here. Because then you're just basing your ideas off of feeling, off of what you felt the market did this week or did yesterday, and that's not enough data to keep you going for. It might work for now, but it's not enough data to keep you going for long. Bear? Yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a small breakout here. Maybe in the next 1 minute candle. I was seeing this, but didn't take from the lows. I know it makes sense, at least 1-to-1 minimum, but at the break there was a good pump, like 30 pips at least. With this shit internet, I prefer not to risk it. Your mobile data is also not good there. Cellular data is not good in Portugal. It's not stable. My cellular data here is very stable. The only thing is download speeds are good. I think that the upload speeds are kind of weak. I don't know what the upload speeds on Starlink are. Last time I checked, Starlink upload speeds were like 20, 30, but I guess it depends where you live. 20 MB. It's not bad. This stream needs around I think like at least 15 MBs. But when I put a Starlink on, I have to drop my bitrate down to 5000 kbps, maybe 3000 kbps. It's probably at like 10 MBs upload. Trump officials broker a massive US Venezuela gold deal. Trump official broker massive. This was posted yesterday. Dude in the photo literally looks like the devil. Yeah, but one thing that definitely did change since yesterday was the rate decisions. Those have been pushed to September. September, October. You gotta see September. You see October. October is always a good month over here. October. They've been pushed to September, October. Hey, what's up, Kraken? Good morning. Can I ask a question, please? Can I ask if I can ask a question? Yes, you can. You can ask a question. The worst ones are high. I hate that. High. My plumber the other day texted me hi. I was like, dude, I don't have any work for you. If I had work for you, I would call you. But then the combo, the worst combo is hi. Then you can reply hi, and then they're gonna reply, can I ask you a question? It's like baiting you to sell. It's selling, right? It's trying to distribute right now. It's breaking super slow, but it's trying to distribute. It's around like 620 pips. It broke right here. So it created that support. Let's see what actually happened. It broke, created another support, and then the candlestick here broke. That second one broke. Yeah, it's pushing down. And otherwise, like, it was kind of hesitating on the initial break over there, but it got clean range to move down. Daily bias is bullish 0.50, 0.60%. Probably that's why. But I feel like a lot more people kind of looking for those sells on gold spot. They seem to be playing out. Because like there's so much volume, I don't even know if like when price goes up 0.40%, it's probably just a retracement on the daily time frame and not like an authentic trend. But the daily is currently like as a bullish candle, and it will definitely have a lot of least resistance towards the upside, especially if it starts rebreaking the previous daily highs. It can keep moving up there for like 1,160 pips. We also just tested 5,000 psychological. Instead of calorie counting, I find intermittent fasting and protein-based diets much more efficient. Also weightlifting and walking much easier and effective than cardio. Yeah, cardio is like light cardio. When I say about cardio, it's like you're just walking. So walking, getting like at least 7,000 plus steps and do like some incline walking. Like nothing crazy. But yeah, if you really just want to lose weight, maybe not even care so much about muscle preservation. I used to do like intermittent fasting, and I would just starve myself and then do HIIT cardio towards like, I guess towards the end of the day. HIIT cardio, and yeah, that tends to burn a lot of fat because there's nothing else to burn when you're intermittent fasting like that. Yeah, I should lose a lot of weight. Yeah, it's still trying to correct. Who does intermittent fasting? Isn't it The Rock who does intermittent fasting? I think it is. Doesn't eat anything until the end. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson utilizes disciplined approach combining daily fasted cardio, 6 to 7 high protein meals, or an occasional intermittent fasting. The worst part is like I don't know what happened to John Cena. What happened to John Cena, Chad? Like why does he walk? He walks like in a very strange way. Probably like all the years from WWE. All the fighting that he did kind of messed up his walk. Bro walks like an old man. So fucked up. And I see, you know, some people in the gym, when they gym the wrong way, they fuck up their posture. There's this one guy I used to see who walked like this. One guy I used to see who walked like this. I always used to see him going to the gym. Like whenever I'll be walking to the gym, I always used to see him walking as well. Really messed up his posture, I think. I think John Cena is probably just from all the injuries from all WWE. That looks like a backside spine injury to you. In late 2025, Cena revealed he had been treated for skin cancer twice, using his experience to raise awareness for using sunscreen. Yeah, sunscreen is like one of the most important things you're gonna ever use because, let me show you. It will drastically change the way you're gonna age as well. This is the difference between, they did this this study of someone who uses sunscreen, and then on one side of her face she used the sunscreen, and the other side of her face she didn't use sunscreen. It was a truck driver. A truck driver was in the sun as well. So that's the kind of difference that using sunscreen can make. Like whenever you go outside, always gotta use like sunscreen. Man, like cancer is something wild because anybody can get it. Like even Bad Baby, she recently just got cancer. She just posted about this on Instagram, I think yesterday or today. The girl from Dr. Phil, Cash Me Outside, how about that? Man, she got cancer. Look at this, bad news. My doctor yesterday, bad news from my doctor yesterday. God has the last say, so not my cancer. All right, so we're starting to break below support here by 51.63. We have 170 pip range. Yeah, sells look like to be the main thing that is pushing here on gold spot today. So it's gonna be looking to possibly close below that area, maybe push, give some kind of a confirmation. But right now it's kind of just coming straight into it. There's nothing. I think the best case is if a candle closes below that support, next candle create like top wick, they re-break the lows or create a consolidation breakout over here for potential sell. Yeah, US 100. Oh, Lee.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Look at that runner on NQ from that distribution right here. You see that was a point A. That was a point A, and then you always gotta track this back as you investigate what happened over here. Was there any way that I could have caught something here? Or even if price had already moved, is there a way that I could have caught price as it was moving in my direction? You know, that's the whole idea behind TFX concepts, is if I missed the first entry, how could I have caught the next entry? But I think in this case, it was just a parabolic move to the upside. So it could have only been at that point A. Because you see, that's a money flow. You see how the money just flows out of there? Look at that money flow. And then it's going to set up again. And then it's going to have the same money flow again. That same reaction. You see with like gold right now, it's currently in that distribution from this area over here. It's still, the money is still flowing down. Right? It's still flowing down. No like re-entries yet. Others wear glasses outside. Macular degeneration is a big source of blindness and loss of color in last years. But some sun damage starts young. Yeah, I don't like what's up with also... No one in my family wears glasses. I'm literally the only one. I wonder what happened. I used to swim a lot. It was like chlorine or... But man, it's a blessing to have like 20/20 vision. If you don't wear glasses or you have 20/20 vision, that's a real blessing right there. Don't take that for granted. No one in my family wears glasses but me. I don't know what it is. 20/20 vision. Must be so cool just to do this and see everything with detail. Like you gotta see detail every day. Like you wake up in the morning and you immediately see detail. That's wild. The only thing I can do is the laser surgery. The only thing I'm ever gonna do laser surgery. Like laser surgery kind of like has its downside as well. Especially if you do it young. If you do laser surgery young, apparently it degrades. Your eyesight will still degrade later. So the people who do laser surgery are gonna do it when they're much older. Yeah, man. But if you got 20/20 vision, man, that's a blessing right there. Don't take that for granted. Man, you can go swimming. You can go swimming in the ocean. You can go swimming in a swimming pool. I can't even go swimming in the ocean. Like I wouldn't see shit. There'd be a shark coming right at me and I probably wouldn't see it. I've been rocking Meta all along for no reason since I got them. What's your grade? I can't remember. I think like one eye is... Damn, I can't remember. Maybe like -5. And I used to have good eyesight in high school though. I never used to wear glasses in school. I only started wearing glasses shortly before I went to university. That's when I realized I was screwed. No, actually university I didn't wear glasses. What am I saying? That was shortly before I went to do my master's second degree. That's when I realized I needed glasses. But my whole life until that point, I think it's been alright. Or I never noticed it. Alright, this thing's flirting with support over here. Probably need to accumulate if it wants to re-break these lows. But you have a potential sell. Below support. To fill this 170 pip range. That's what you got. Sounds like the charts effed you up. Yeah, those late night CODs. Late night COD and GTA. Run.
Why are you running?
The thing just pushed right here in the last seconds. The last 1 minute candlestick just melted. Look at this, just pushed down like 100 pips. 100 pips in 1 minute. That's the positive thing about having a. I would say that's the number one thing. That's the number one thing about having tight stops. You get a trade like this, take a sell like this, 16 pip stop loss that randomly pushes like 100 pips in your favor. Amazing. You're in? What'd you get it at? I think the only other way was like some kind of an impulse entry at the break of this wick. Of that wick by 51.61. I don't see any other breakouts. It kind of even formed like a bit of a head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Then that's the volume that kicked in. What did I study? I did medicine. Humbling experience. Yeah, I had a buddy who was doing he works in the UK now as a doctor. He did medicine as well. But it felt like he was always studying, this guy. Like his whole life. And you know, since high school, he's been that same guy. So people who are gonna do like medicine, they start so early, they kind of already know they're heading towards that direction. So congratulations. If you did it, man. Medicine, that's so much harder than freaking trading. That's so much more difficult. Humbling experience. That's a lifestyle, man. Like when you go to med school, that's a lifestyle. You have to be on your books. You have to be on your grind. You have to be on your notes grind as well. He used to sell his notes. He started like a small business in med school. So he had a YouTube channel. I can even show you who he is. He had a YouTube channel. He used to sell his notes. But his whole life was just med. And now he is only starting to make money after all those years and all that money he spent. You know, because by the time you're done, you're probably in like some crazy debt. You're probably in like some crazy debt at that point. So all that he did, you see, like just med. And you can see the support. Like people who are in medicine, they got like a very nice community online. Yeah, but I guess the idea is, I think he did like biomed or something. I'm not sure. I guess the idea is once you make it, then you're going to start raking it in. But you have to be incredibly disciplined. Like this guy, ever since I knew him, like since high school, incredibly disciplined. Incredibly disciplined. Even after getting a medical degree, you have to market your practice to make the big money. Everything comes down to sales. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like getting into sales, right? Like this guy's in med school. He does medicine. He sells notes. He sells what he sells. I'm in trading. I sell education. Well, whatever it is that you're good at, you can always find a way to sell that skill because there's gonna be value that you're gonna be able to provide. That's why I would say like get good at sales. I would say if you get good at sales, you're never gonna be broke. Of course, also if you have a skill, this is a very specialized skill. You can trade during COVID. You can do whatever when things are in lockdown. But generally speaking, if you're good at sales, you're never gonna be broke. Salespeople are like the most resilient people and pretty hardworking, and you always gotta think of ways to stay ahead of the competition. So it's a good character development to have. So when people say, oh, why do you sell courses if you're profitable? It's like, bro, why not sell courses? The only reason I'm profitable is because I have a cutthroat mindset. So why would I not take advantage of the other ways that I can make money? You know, things just don't happen by accident. People don't get successful by accident. Like, you actually have to work towards those things. And during the process of that, it changes you as a person. You see, like how Franklin Saint season 6, man, the guy is completely different person towards like the end of season 5. Completely different person, that guy. And unfortunately, is the case, you know. They say you can't even be a billionaire without being a certain type of person, or a millionaire without a certain type of person. But I don't think that's true. I think you can still make good money with integrity. You don't have to be evil to be rich. Wait and see what happens here. It's doing like a small little break and retest. There's still around 92 pips below that support. Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. You see little videos of if you're in a restaurant and then a waiter comes over and he says, is everything good here? Then you say, no, I want you to try my food. They said, is everything good? Can I get you anything else? Then tell him, no, I want you to try my food. And then he's like, okay, give me the fork. Then you see, that's the problem right there. It's kind of a rude way to say, you didn't give me a fork. Just tell the waiter to try your food. Then when he tries to try your food, you pull him to you and you say, you see, that's a problem right there. Or something like that. Buy the pen or I'll rob you. You want to sell me this pen? Why don't you write down your name on that piece of paper over there? I don't have a pen. There you go, supply and demand. I'm trying to avoid trading today because I did good already. The next best thing to avoiding trading, if you've already done good already, is like only if there's a setup that forms which just looks too good to fail. Correct? Then you could always consider giving it a shot. But it just has to kind of find you that you're not being a slave to the market, that you're looking for a trade. It just kind of has to stand out so clearly. You know, something similar to what happened earlier on before we started stream. And you see it like this. We got perfect TetraFX confirmation here. Like 15-minute look clean to come down. You got like beautiful rejection off here. You see on the 15 high rejected that area. at like 51.61. You go on the 1 minute and then you can see that setup. It looks too good, too clean, you know. You like just take your sell over there and start breaking the lows. Like it's just too good, too clean. But right now, right now it's kind of whiplashing a bit. There's nothing that's standing out as too obvious. It's difficult to sit on your hands. It's the hardest thing, but you know, you're gonna get used to it. You'll find out that sitting on your hands is the best thing that you can do as a trader, is to sit on your hands. Like, you get paid to wait, and when you sit on your hands, when you have risk off, you're able to think a lot clearly when you start to like paper trade and just, you know, watch the way the markets move, watch the way the candlesticks are printing. It is one of the most underrated skills, is to be able to sit on your hands. You see, like yesterday, look what happened. Look what happened yesterday. I took a loss, and then I did what? I sat on my hands, like I always do after a losing trade. I sit on my hands. From this period here, from here to here, I sat on my hands, and from here to here, I was paper trading with you. I was paper trading. We're looking at price. So like, okay, you know, I'll take this sell, I'll take this buy. Then watch it, like how it's playing out. You just sit on your hands till your next session, and then you take your next trade. But the worst thing you want to do is like back to back trades. Like, you don't want to trade here and then take another trade here, because that will look kind of funny as well if you just had like a position here, and if it was a losing or win, and you have another position shortly after. Yeah, that would like kind of look weird as well. But if you like allow price to print, then you give yourself a better chance at a kind of like a different market structure. So you see, since we waited since here, look, price moved up, and then we caught the retracement, then price moved up again. But the idea is you're giving yourself a different market condition. So when you trade here and here, you're still in the same market condition. You know, God knows what that could have been. Same market condition, but you spread it out, spread the probabilities out as well. So most underrated skill is to sit in your hands. One or two trades a day, sit on your hands. 1 or 2 trades a day, that's it. Most of the time, you're only gonna see about 1 or 2 trades. Like 1 or 2. One trade, 1 or 2 trades a day. See Discord. Oil market doing today? Oil is 0.35%. Yeah, this thing's been skyrocketing up. Looks like it's still early stages for the day here. It's accumulating on the 4-hour. It's getting ready for another leg. It's getting ready for another potential leg to the upside. Once it starts breaking above $77 a barrel, might start to see oil distribute. Beautiful accumulation. Beautiful. What is gold gonna do? We got potential buys above resistance there. Price starts to break here. That's going to be 50. Let's mark this out here. Potential buys to move up towards resistance. Let's clean this out. Do. You got potential buys above, and you got potential sell below. Potential sells below, potential buys above. Lock that in. Yeah, chat. So that's a play on Goldie. That's potentially what's gonna happen. It's cooking. It's cooking. That range to the upside looks really juicy right now. I'll not be surprised to see that thing skyrocket. If it melts, it melts. Depends what direction it breaks. Let's see if I can load this thing up over here. I'm not trying to trade this right now. I'm just kind of paper trading it. Is it gonna work? Wait, what happened?
Every flavor has a local extrovert.
Why can I not have this here? What the heck? Full screen. Is that copyrighted content? It might be. The music. Let's see if you can turn it off. Oh, cells are playing out right now. Goldie's on the way down. Damn, what is wrong with this thing? Lagging quite a lot on stream. Let's see, encoder overloaded. Why is it lagging, chat? This Goldie trying to fill this range. On the 1 minute. Any setup? Yep, there was a TFX confirmation there. Anybody catch it? But that's only if you're looking for sells, correct? Like if you're looking for sells, you got a TFX confirmation right here. At the break of 51, 51, 53. 51, 53. Let me try a spawn back in. Oh, it's because it's taking some feed from Discord. I think it's trying to stream it on Discord. No top wick business. Yeah, gold is already feel like 65% of the range. It's still pushing down here. It's in distribution right now. It's paying out those sellers. Total chat, like that it's just gonna keep repeating itself like that. That's basically the market. So as long as you know what you're looking for, then all you gotta do is just wait. Holy. That's smooth now, right?
That's cool. Just hit extrovert up when you're done.
All right, let's try first try trade flip. No, first try trade. Oh, there we go. Let's do fakey trade. Let's fake it inward. It doesn't look like it's lagging anymore. Can you actually play skate in this game? Like, you know, in the other skates, you could actually play skate. Let's find a spot. I actually like trying to play skate as real as possible. I don't like this crazy stuff people do. Nice little nollie manual to backside. He'll flip out. Probably need speed to clear that last bit of it off though. So, nollie. Oh! Such a nice puck this is. It's like my second time playing this game. Hey, buddy. How do you like grabs? Oh, R1. Alright, nice. Nice, no comply. I don't know if you can like hippie flip. I don't know what the button is to hippie flip. Yo, chat, somebody get this game. We're gonna play a game of skate. It's free on the Steam. Oh, damn. Is that Drake? One trick I can't freaking figure out how to do is a hard flip. Oh, there we go. It's pretty difficult. Like, it's a weird... He always does like an impossible whenever I try and do it for some reason before. Hey, buddy. Look at me. Look at me. NPC. Parkour. Yeah, that's one thing I love about Skate that they did right is this the way that you can land tricks. Like you see you can like kind of pivot into tricks. That's pretty slick. Like you get this little steezy look. Look at this. Kind of like pivot into it. Pivot into it. Ooh. Let's go some street skating. Let's see what we can find. Is it lagging, chat? Alright, John. See you later, buddy. A spot like this in real life will be fun. Little manual tricks right here. Glitch. Oh, nice. Actually kind of made it look quite realistic in this. Fakey inward hill. If we can get fakey inward hill. Damn, why isn't he shoving it? Keeps saying like a weird impossible. Shove. Tray flip, tails, manual to frontside kick flip out. Oh, beautiful edge. Almost cleared that. Feels like the map isn't that big. Let's see where have we been. Looks like a lot of people are in here. Let's go join those people. I don't look at gold. We just there was only just that one move that we called shortly before doing this. It's gonna set up again and just do the same thing over and over again. That's literally the market. Wait, this is a spot? This doesn't feel like it. Where's the marker? Oh, there it is. Right, it's so hard to do a hard flip. Braveheart 529. Oh, damn. Music's kind of annoying. How can you change this music? What the heck is this music, bruh? Audio, main volume. You know who's the king of no complies? Mac Valley. Got some serious pop. Nah, I'm terrible. I always mute all music in games, but I usually play with a podcast in background. Ooh. This is how I actually push in real life. This is like a Mongo pushing. Where you got the... when you're pushing from the back, this is like regular pushing. But Mongo pushing is like you gotta push with your left foot forward if you're goofy. Left foot forward. I feel like you just have more control of the board when you Mongo push. This always felt kind of weird and unnatural to me. It felt like you gotta put a lot more effort. Like pushing normally like that. Oh, set. Oh no. Ooh, clean. Backside. Switch Ollie 180. I got a fakey front side. Yeah, that trick. Kick flip into tray flip, backside board slide. Close enough. Backside heel flip. Nice set, small grind. Oh, come on. He ruined the line. Okay, kick flip. Tray flip, board slide. Keeps going for the tail slide. No slide, I mean. Man, I love that. I love the way they did that in this game. Like where you can just pivot like in the last minute like this. It just makes the trick look so much cooler. You know, one thing I wish skate games did a bit more is like more realistic. So if you did a set like this, it's so easy to just clear it like a video game. They should like make it a little bit harder to actually do that. Oh, super unrealistic. Let's do backside. Backside hill flip into a board slide out. This is like that Hollywood 17. Ooh, clean. Kind of looks like the Hollywood 17. How many steps are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, 16, give or take. Oh, so that's how you do board slides flawlessly. Alright. Now look at this guy. Come join me here. I thought there were going to be a lot more people in this park. Where'd everybody go? Ollie North? Oh, nice. You know Ollie North here. Can you do Ollie South? Yeah, you can. Yeah. Looks like Bruce Lee kick. Yeah. Ollie North. Over this guy. Hey, stay there. Do a kickflip over you. How is he just lying on the ground? Tray flip this gap. Oh. So close. It's kind of laggy on stream, isn't it? Looks a little choppy. It's a shame I canceled my PSN recently. I'll be all over this right now. You don't need PSN, you just get it on Steam. You can download it for free on stream. So the whole idea behind this game is it's a free game to play, but everything you want that's cool, you gotta pay money. Like if you want to change your clothes or get new boards, you gotta pay money. That's a problem with free games. Actually, the worst thing for a gamer, for a game that they really want to play, is to hear that it's coming out for free. You know, because that means there's it's just not gonna be a really good game if it's free. Like for example, this game doesn't even have a story mode. It's basically Skate 4, but they just named it Skate. And Fortnite made so much money from the same ideas, so they're just trying to implement like a similar thing. And just get a lot of these kids pay for stuff. But it's still fun to play. Apparently you can climb buildings as well. I've never really tried it, but there's a guy here he's jumping from somewhere pretty high. Let's see if we can spot him out. Gonna respawn somewhere. Where the hell is he jumping from? He's literally dropping in from... Oh, I think it's this building right here. Oh, come on, you got this. Yeah, there he is. Oh, shit. How do you do that Christ there? Alright, watch this. Oh, no, he didn't do it. I feel like what this game is lacking is like proper street skating spots. See what gold is doing. Yeah, you see it came down, it filled up that range down towards support. So you got support right over here tapped into. Support right over here tapped into, and now it's going to try and set up a, let me see what's going on, 1 minute. All right, nothing. Don't see anything over here. I thought this was cooking up a break. We have a bit of range up over here. This is gonna be like about 55 pips. 55 pip range. If it was to set up a maybe something, oh, we already removed that. If it came up, pulled up like this, then create us some kind of a resistance, and then rebroke these highs, I think that would be a nice buy idea towards that next resistance point right over here. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for. I'm going to be looking out for this, and maybe a sell like pulls up like that and then comes and re-breaks these lows right over here. Then you get a potential sell below that level. Boom, support. Yeah, I think that would look pretty good. Let's see on the 5-minute time frame. It's a lot more harder for it to go down. We have a lot more structure towards the downside over there. That's the only thing about that move. That is the only thing. Where is YouTube? Where did YouTube go? Where did YouTube go? Alright, chat, I think I'll call it here. But yeah, today seems like a pretty decent day, to be honest. Like, we're seeing a lot of volume in the market. As long as we're swinging like this, I think that could give an opportunity for a trade. So as of right now, there's nothing really that's set up. As of this, oh, there's a little bit of a shotgun here. There's a little bit of a shotgun play right over here, but it's selling into this wick. It still needs to get through a wick. It's probably gonna try it. That's the only thing that I can see at this very moment. Not the cleanest, but at least it got that 8 SMA kind of like holding it down. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for a breakout setup, and yeah, let's wait for that structure. It could actually build within this area here. But if it breaks out, if the shotgun does end up playing out right now, perfect. You know, it's just gonna create an opportunity for something further down, further towards the downside over there. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can see right now that could play out, or the only potential move right now. I just might play this out, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Even this was clean right here. That breakout that created the correction of the range, very clean. And start breaking below like 51.53. Down at PD arrays. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for the shotgun to play out and then see if I can maybe catch another breakout later, but it needs to create some structure. Because currently right now it's pushing from this area. That's the only edge I saw for any trades at this very moment. It's like pushing down towards support here by like 27 pips. Down towards support. Oh wow, look at this. Man, I think sells is just an order for the day. Look at the amount of selling pressure in here. Holy. Yeah, alright chat. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. What do we got tomorrow? Freaky Friday. See y'all for Freaky Friday, everybody. Take care. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. Adios.